Hey there, you lovely people. Over 9,000 here again. Taking advice the right way. So today I'm going to be talking about tips that you can use when taking advice from someone. So the problem that we have here in our society now is that we tend to soak in every little drop of information like it's a sponge. And it's not our fault, society trained us that way from the time we was in pre-K. We go to school, we listen to the teachers, we read the books, we take notes, and we just write everything down. We don't ever really sit down and think on it critically. But anyway, that's neither here or there. I'm going to go ahead and give you these 5 tips that you can use whenever you take advice from someone. Number 1, I call it the salt shaker. When you're applying this tip, you're pretty much going to sprinkle any advice people give you a little bit at a time into whatever situation you're applying it to. You're just going to put a little bit at a time. And any advice you take someone, you want to always take that advice with a grain of salt. Tip number 2, cherry picking. Now this is what I call, picking out the good and leaving the bad. You don't want to go pick out the good. You don't want to go and just take everything. You want to pick out the good and just leave the bad. So the stuff that you feel, the stuff that you know isn't going to work for you, I will call that cherry picking, because you don't know what necessarily the bad will do when you apply it to your own life. So I would definitely just go ahead and just pick out the good and see how that works for you. Number 3, cross-referencing. Now, when you do this, you kind of want to take other people's experience and use that to gain clarity. Many people might look at something through a single lens, but it's better to look at it from different perspectives and situations where you have one person and you step outside the box and step into their shoes and see what the situation is like. And that's what helps you gain clarity. And then that's just doing it from one angle. If you do it from various angles, you can gain various answers, and that will give you a lot more clarity on your situation. Number 4, I would say look at what that person has obtained from the advice they abide by. Now, a lot of people don't really like to lead by example, so you kind of have to look at it and see the advice they're giving you, how has it helped them, and are they a model that you aim to replicate? You don't want to just take any word of advice from anyone and it hasn't done anything positive or successful for them. So pretty much what I mean by that is, if you're in a relationship and you're looking for relationship advice, you're not going to ask someone that's single if you want relationship advice, because that's not going to work. If you want to make $1 million, you're not going to ask someone that's in debt. It's just simple. You got to look at someone you want to kind of model out there and ask them how did they get to where they are, and that will help you gain a better understanding on the steps you need to take to make those similar accomplishments. And my final tip on this is to give yourself a trial period. Don't try something once and give up if you don't see it working. So this is why I say give yourself a trial period, give yourself time to execute, try to be fair and give yourself a reasonable amount of time. As humans, we will naturally feel reluctant to leave the comfort of our habitat for something new or unfamiliar. So give yourself time to adjust. It may be 2 weeks, it may be a month or 3 months, but give yourself time. Now, once you've done all of that and things still aren't giving you the results you want, then that's when you want to go back to the drawing board and see what needs to be adjusted and what could use tweaking. But for the most part, you definitely want to take things with a grain of salt, cherry pick out the good things from their advice, but also be wary of the bad. Like, you want to keep the bad in mind, so that way you will have, awareness to that. And then cross-reference any advice with more than just one person. You don't want to take one person's advice and just stick with it. You kind of want to get advice from a number of people, and then when you see what aligns together, you'll kind of see a clear path you need to take when it comes to that situation. And fourth, look at what that person has obtained. And fifth, give yourself time. So I hope this was able to help you. If you have any more questions for me, please go ahead and leave a comment below. If there's something a little bit more private, then you can go ahead and DM me on Twitter or Instagram. And if you guys have any other questions, always feel free to ask me. Don't be ashamed, don't be afraid, and let me know what tips you might have that you would recommend for taking advice. Go ahead and comment down below. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. I will constantly be putting out messages like this to help you. And if you like this video, if it was helpful to you, make sure you leave a like. So until next time, I'll see you guys. Be easy, be safe.